In this video, I'm going to explain you clipping function in Inkscape. Also, I'm going to show you a few examples of how this clipping function can be applied. Clipping involves removing part of the object or trimming the object. To clip, you need two objects, a clipper and the object that you want to clip. The clipper needs to be moved on top of the object that you want to clip. If you're not sure whether it's on top, you can just click the button up here, raise to the top, and that will move your clipper on top of the other object. Now, what is going to be clipped? As you can see here, the area between apple and circle, there's an overlapping part, this area here. This is the area that is going to show after you perform clipping function. Everything else will disappear. The circle will disappear, and then the part of the apple that is outside of the overlapping area will also disappear. Now, how do I clip? To clip, you select both objects, then you go to Object, Clip, Set Clip, and your clipping has occurred. And as you can see, this area that was previously in the overlapping area is showing. Everything else is not. Now, if you want to go back to the original image, you could do that simply by going to Object, Clip, and then Release Clip. And now, as you can see, both objects, apple and the circle, reappeared. One more thing I would like to mention, in my video, you're going to see that this circle is transparent. That's because I have decreased the opacity of this color to 50%. You can change it by going down here and change this number to whatever number you like. Original number is 100, so if I change it to 100, this is the color. But if I change it to 50, you're going to be able to see it, the background image. You can also change opacity by going to Fill and Stroke menu right here. If it's not showing here, you just go to the main menu and click on this button here, and then the Fill and Stroke menu will show up here. And then you click on Fill, and then scroll down, and you can see opacity is right here, and it's at 50 right now. But you can always adjust it with plus and minus if you want an exact number, or you can simply, if you look for approximately number, you can just drag this line to the right or to the left. Inkscape also offers what's called an inverse clipping function, which is just the opposite of clipping. So remember when I mentioned to you that when you perform clipping function, the overlapping area is the area that is going to show. Well, in inverse clipping, the opposite is true. So the overlapping area is the area that is going to be cut out of the object, and it's not going to show. To do inverse clipping, you need to select both objects, then you go to Object, Clip, Set Inverse Clip, and as you can see, the overlapping area has now disappeared. If you're not happy with this, you can also reverse it. Simply go to Object, Clip, Release Clip, and now you have the original object back. In this case, however, you're not going to see the clipper. Clipper is hidden, but you can get it back by simply hovering over the highlighted area. Click on the right side of the mouse and go to Unhide Objects Below. If you click on that, you're going to see that the circle, the clipper, now is visible again. When you perform clipping function, there are two ways to do it, and I'm going to show you these two ways right now. First, we need to select both objects, and then you can go to Object, Clip, and then Set Clip, or instead, you can click on the right side of the mouse, and then you have this menu showing up. Just scroll down all the way to Set Clip, click on that Set Clip, and you're going to have clipping function performed as well. You can reverse it the same way. Instead of going to Object, you can just click on the right side of the mouse, go to Release Clip, and now you have your two original objects back on the screen. When you're using a clipping function, you can also clip more than one object. To do that, you need to create a group. To demonstrate it, I have this circle here, and I have a square here, and I'm going to create a group. So click on both objects, go to Object, Group, and this is ready to be clipped. So now let me create a clipper, which I can use a circle or a square or a star, any object you like. For example, I'm going to use circle since I used a circle in the previous example. And I'm going to use Shift and Control to make the nice and even circle. And let me change the color of the circle to blue, right here. And then I'm going to click a selector tool and hover the circle on top of my group. I'm going to make sure it's on top of the group, so I'm going to click this button right here. And now, as you can see, there is a part of a square visible here, and there is a part of a green circle overlapping here. So this is the area that is going to be showing once you perform clipping function. So let's put it to the test. So we have to select both objects. Now we can go to Object, Clip, Set Clip, and as you can see, the part of a circle and part of a square is showing. Now, if you deselect it, these two are moving together because that's a group, but you can separate them simply by clicking right side of the mouse and click Ungroup. And now there are two different objects and they can be separated. When you're performing clipping in Inkscape, you can use more than one object to clip the other object. In the previous example, I showed you how I can use the circle to clip the object, but you can use more than one circle. You can use also more than one object. You can use circle and a square or circle and a star or whatever object you like. However, for this to work, you need to create a group. So to create a group, you need to select these two objects and then go to Object, click Group. Now that we have this group created, we can proceed to the clipping of this our square on the right. So let's move it over to the right. Let's move it to the top. And now we can go ahead and clip it. Now, as you can see, the area that is going to be clipped is the area that is overlapping here and the area that is overlapping here. You don't have to really worry about the color of the clipper because the clipper disappears and the color of the object at the bottom is the color that is going to be visible. So let's put this to the test. Let's select both objects, go to Object, Clip, Set, and now you can see that we have one full green circle and part of the green circle showing, and both circles are green since our object at the bottom was green. So when would you use clipping function? One of the examples is when you have an image and you're interested only in one part of the image. So for example, this image has two flowers, but you're only interested in one flower. So in this case, you can select a circle, for example. You can use any other object. You can use star or a square. I'm just going to use circle. Click Shift and Control to make a circle even. Then I'm going to click Selector tool, hover over my object, and make the circle, resize the circle so that way it covers the whole flower because I want the whole flower to show. Okay, should be good now. Then I'm going to go to Rise on Top, click this button to make sure that the circle is on top. Then select both objects, go to Object, Clip, and then Set Clip. And now I only have one flower, which I can use for my projects. Another application of clipping function is useful when you want to delete part of an image. For example, you want to remove the background. In this case, I have this image here with the flower. I'm just interested in this flower. In this case, I'm going to use Bezier pen and I'm going to trace the image. Okay, now that I traced the image, I'm going to click Selector tool and I'm going to make sure that this trace is on top because this is going to be my clipper. So I'm going to click here to raise to the top. Now I'm going to select both images, go to Object, Clip, Set Clip, and now as you can see, everything else has disappeared and I only have the flower, and now I can use this flower for my projects. If you like, you're not happy with this image, you can also reverse this function. Go to Object, Clip, and then Release Clip, and now you have the original image back. Another application of clipping is when you want to create this blurry effect, this bubble-like effect, like you can see, as you can see here. So to do this, simply select Circle, just right here. I'm going to click Shift and Control button to make sure that my circle is even. Okay, this should be enough in terms of size. I'm going to click Select tool and I'll move the circle a little lower so it aligns with this one so you can see it better. If you have a fill in a circle, simply go to Fill and Stroke menu here, or if it's not showing here, you just click on this button and it should show here. Then go click on Fill and get rid of this. Click on X. That will get rid of your fill. Then go to the Stroke menu and scroll down to Blur, and we're going to increase it to about 40. Okay, so that's about that's good enough. Then we're going to make a copy of this. Copy, you can just simply select the shape you want to copy, click the right side of on the mouse, and then click Duplicate. Now we're going to go back to our blur and then remove the blur completely. Now we're going to select both objects, and then we're going to go to Object, Clip, and Set. There you go, and there is your bubble effect. And the last thing I want to mention to you that I really enjoy clipping function in Inkscape. It's very useful as it does not delete the image. It only hides part of it, so you can always go back to the original image. And I found this pretty useful when my Inkscape has crashed a few times. When I opened the new version of my window, I was able to go back to the original image simply by releasing the clip. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you so much for watching.